Hi, all of you wonderful scuba divers out there. Welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine podcast, where I break down the latest scuba diving news and things that have piqued my interest over the previous week. This week on the podcast, female clearance divers have simultaneously graduated into both the New Zealand and South Korean navies for the first time. Late antiquity amphoras, a Byzantine anchor, and an iron battle knife were among discoveries made during a recent underwater archaeological expedition in the Black Sea, and training agencies have some new thoughts on promoting diving. Now, first off, this might be... let me try that again. Now, first off, this might be the last podcast for a little while because I'm about to go on paternity leave. So apologies if there aren't any podcasts in the coming weeks. But I will be back. And then I'll be off to Dima, in which case I'll have to skip a podcast again. But anyway, yeah, just in case you're wondering, where's this week's podcast? I might be on paternity leave. And today I've got a bit of a cold. I'm still getting over a cold, so if it feels a bit choppy, it's because I'm just coughing my guts out. I'll do my best in the edits to make it as smooth and seamless as possible. But yeah, if anything sounds a little bit off, it's probably because, I'm struggling to breathe. But yeah, first of all, there are two women joining the men of the Royal New Zealand Navy in the, I apologise for this, the HMNZS Matatu, something like that, Littoral Warfare Unit. And they're able diver Petra Di Hutchinson and Lieutenant... is it lieutenant or lieutenant in New Zealand? I'm not sure. Here in the UK, we use lieutenant. I know in America they use lieutenant, which seems to be the more popular one, the one that you hear in movies and TV shows and stuff. But I think New Zealand has a bit of a UK heritage, so it might be lieutenant. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But Lieutenant Bethany Ward completed the Defence Divers course alongside 8 males at the Devonport Naval Base in Auckland. The 5 months of training covers military diving equipment and techniques, mine countermeasures, underwater maintenance, and battle damage repair, demolition, explosive ordnance disposal, and search techniques. Women had completed the course before, however, none had gone on to become full-time clearance divers, so this is the first time this has happened. A quote from Commander Trevor Leslie said, "The significance of Lieutenants Ward and able diver Di Hutchinson's achievements is considerable, but it's now business as usual for these two divers as they undertake consolidation training and deploy on operations with their shipmates at..." I apologise again, HMNZ S Matatau. Able diver Di Hutchinson, who's 28 from Auckland, joined the army in 2015 and became an emergency responder, but then transferred to the Navy after starting the Defence Divers course. A quote says, "I'd never done a dive before." Struth, that's trial by fire. But halfway through the course, I was just loving it. Originally from Plymouth in the UK, 26-year-old Lieutenant Ward had served in the Royal Navy before completing an exchange with the RNZN as a watchkeeper on the Canterbury, swapping one Devonport base for another. She said, "I wanted to be a diver in the Navy since I was 16. I saw the divers training in the UK and asked, are girls allowed to do that? And they were like, yep, we have female divers. We have long days and are put in uncomfortable situations. A lot of the time we don't know what's coming next, especially dealing with tides and weather changes. You really have to go with the elements, but I love how versatile the trade is. I like the fact it's a community of people working to really high professional standards, the variety of day-to-day work, and that it's a challenge physically. The best thing about learning something that's hard is that you feel like a child in that moment. Then all of a sudden something clicks and you just get it right. Especially underwater, it's the moment in the team when it all comes together and you solve the problem. Then things that were really difficult become second nature. In the Republic of Korea, meanwhile, the Navy's Sea Salvage and Rescue Unit, or SSU, has just admitted its first female diver. The country's military is actively seeking to deploy women more widely because of concerns about the country's low birth rate, and in 2022 it relaxed its former policy to allow them to join submarine crews. Following its intensive 12-week training course, Lieutenant Junior Grade Mun Hee Woo has just completed a further qualifying course alongside 63 other students and become a deep-sea submarine investigator, deemed to have the strength and skills required to carry out underwater rescue missions. Quoting, "I felt confident that I could complete the training. I don't think anyone would have known I was a woman unless someone told them so, since I cut my hair short." The Lieutenant Junior Grade said it was age rather than gender that had increased the challenge for her. At 27 years old, she was 8 years older than her youngest colleague, which she found made it tougher to recover quickly during physical training. Yeah, tell me about it. Once you hit your 30s, it suddenly gets much harder. The first half of the course concentrates on basic stamina and swimming ability, with some 7 hours of practical training daily, including running up to 9 kilometers and gymnastics. During the 3rd and 4th weeks, candidates are expected to swim 5.5 kilometers in the sea without thermal protection, plus another 7.5 kilometer with fins and a mask to boost swimming endurance and marine survival skills, intersped with rescue theory and exercises. On the second half of the course, divers develop their stamina by running 10 kilometers a day and physical exercises, along with rib operations and scuba training. Weeks 8 to 10 concentrate on scuba to around 40 meters, plus breathing techniques, emergency escapes, personal aid, and search training. So yeah, intensive courses these. It's a bit more than your PADI open water. So hashtag feminism for the New Zealand and South Korean navies, especially females on submarines. I didn't think that was a thing. I can't remember what it was. There was a movie. And it was like, yeah, we basically don't have the bathroom facilities on a submarine for females, so we just keep it men only. But yeah, times seem to be changing. In Irish waters, a rusting ship with a decidedly shady past has been sunk to the bottom of Killala Bay as Ireland's first artificial reef. The MV Shingle was seized by the revenue commissioners in a €14 million cigarette tobacco trafficking bust 10 years ago, when it was en route from Slovenia, with 32 million cigarettes and a quantity of tobacco aboard, and it's just been languishing in Dublin and then County Wexford, racking up berthing fees, remedial works and maintenance. Michael Loftus of a local sabbatical club was the first to raise the idea of creating an artificial reef to boost tourism and support local marine life years and years ago, and now through liaison between his committee, the revenue commissioners, Mayo County Council, and the Sligo County Council, it's finally happening. The MV Shingle was sent on its final journey on the 18th of September and settled in about 29 meters of water after about an hour and a half in front of a veritable fleet of boats carrying sightseers who gave an enormous cheer as it finally disappeared beneath the surface. So yeah, it was obviously prepared. They cut holes in it and they removed all the gunk and stuff, and then they sunk it as vertically as possible. The project has cost around €2 million, but it's hoped that the new arrival will provide a boost to the number of visitors in the area, just encouraging people. And there's some good diving in and around Ireland, so yeah, it's just something else to encourage divers to come to the area, as well as being a benefit to the local marine flora and fauna. Michael Loftus commented, "Many other places around the world have artificial reefs, but there are none in Ireland. We do have wrecks off Northern Ireland, but they lie too deep and are only for experienced technical divers. Our reef is only 30 meters down, well within the range of the less experienced, as well as accomplished divers." So yeah, 30 meters, and that's 30 meters down to the bottom. So yeah, it's recreational depths. You can spend a good amount of time exploring it. So yeah, a new shipwreck to explore. Going a little bit further back in time, an archaeological exploration on Bulgaria's Black Sea coast has unearthed lots of antiquities and shiny, well, I say shiny things. The expedition was carried out in the first half of September by archaeological divers from the National Historical Museum, led by Professor Ivan Hristavas, in the latest part of the studies of the Fortress Harbour area that began in 2014. A team of 5 scuba divers were assigned to work in 4 zones, examining an area covering some 70,000 square meters in the southern and southwestern waters of the, Chrysosoteira Peninsula. They found complete and fragmented amphoras and other ceramic vessels in a variety of designs dating from the 5th to the 7th centuries AD, either resting on the seabed or partially buried in the sand at depths of about 6 to 10 meters, so really shallow dives these. And they discovered a Byzantine anchor that provided a useful indication of a location used for the docking of ships. Less ancient remains were also found, including more amphoras from the 10th and 13th centuries, ceramic vessels from the 17th and 18th centuries, and late medieval iron battle knives. All of the finds were said to indicate a busy cargo unloading kind of activities in the area, which makes sense if it's a kind of port harbour-like area. Just like today, things get dropped in the water, and yeah, up until now, didn't really have the means to collect them. The expedition was funded by the Ministry of Culture and the National Historical Museum, and the most valuable artifacts are going to be displayed in a temporary exhibition at the museum this December. We've been talking with PADI ambassador diver Kaylee Slowly from the United Kingdom, talking about PADI's new Seek Adventure, Save the Ocean Together recruitment scheme. When talking about her partner Brady, she said he grew up landlocked without the sea in his life and wasn't always keen on colder waters, but after moving to Cornwall, he found a love for the ocean through surfing and snorkeling. Now getting him certified is my next step, or is the next step, as it opens up a new underwater world for us to explore. I can't wait for Brady to experience the magic beneath the surface as a PADI diver. So PADI's new recruitment idea is encouraging scuba divers to recruit friends and family members as their dive buddies with its new diver acquisition campaign, which is an incentive scheme that enables PADI divers at any level to send out a 15% off link for the PADI Open Water e-learning course via their PADI account. By using the link, the new recruit in turn unlocks a 30-day trial to the PADI Club for the diver who sent the offer. The club membership usually costs $50 a year and offers access to discounts on PADI e-learning programs for themselves and cert cards, a free reactivate program, and a subscription to their digital version of PADI's Scuba Diving magazine. A quote from PADI's Worldwide Chief Brand and Member Officer Valette Worth says, "PADI is investing big in this campaign, and we're encouraging our community of divers, dive professionals, and dive centres and resorts to do the same." So big discounts to basically get them just to try it out, and those kind of incentives for the diver to do it themselves. So everybody benefits and more divers get certified. PADI is running 4 mini campaigns in connection with the referral program, focusing on the prime reasons for learning to dive, which it says are wellness, connection, education, and purpose. So you'll probably see those over social media in the up and coming months. The program offers PADI professionals an extra incentive to sell more courses by feeding into the PADI MSD challenge, the Master Scuba Diver Challenge, and offering MSD students the opportunity to win a dive trip to the Maldives, which is very nice. So yeah, expect to see this on social media. And if you've got like friends and family who you think are like umming and ahhing about it, then this might be just the little something to like tip them over the edge, or just to mention it to anyone. Just say, hey, I'm a qualified diver. If anyone's thinking about it or wants to do a course, let me know, and I can generate a 15% discount code, which is pretty cool. And then you yourself as the diver get some perks as well. So yeah, check it out. As far as new dive equipment, I did see some new bolt snaps, which, as many regular listeners will know, it sort of piques my interest. They're branded as Mara's XR, but they're very, very familiar to the XD bolt snaps. Yeah, they're. So they obviously like the look of them. They're whilst most bolt snaps are quite like fluid and have rounded edges. The XD ones have just got these little upgrades and little corners that help to manipulate them with thicker gloves. So yeah, it makes sense that that's another brand would copy them. As far as new gear, nothing overly exciting on websites. I see there's a bunch of new Interspyro like equipment and full face masks on scuba.com. They've just got stock of a lot of new stuff, or their full face mask range, and GoPro Hero 13s. There's quite a few new GoPro styles coming out. That I don't think there was anything else new. So on to some Ask Mark questions. Let's have a look. User OB323U, I think you commented before. Can you do a review on Halcyon BCDs and or alternative options? Have you already done a video like that? I haven't done a lot on Halcyon. They're one of those brands that I'm aware of. I don't think I've ever used any of their dive gear, like properly tested it out. They're fine. Yeah, they do make some very nice stuff, and there are some like unique things. I know a lot of is it GUE that loves Halcyon, but yeah, there's a lot of similar brands that do similar things. Just have a look at the specs of the materials and stuff. They're a very reputable and reliable brand, so they've got a good heritage. Some of their things I think is a little bit overpriced personally, but hey, yeah, each to their own. Yeah, there are like alternates out there. There are thousands of those kind of brands that make backplates and wings nowadays. So yeah, just if it works for you, then great, go for it. If you've got a dealer nearby, sort of have a chat with them. They're moving a lot into the like custom market, where you can choose the different colors and stitching and all that kind of stuff to personalize things a bit more than just a black wing. Yeah, and they've got quite a few like backplate options, as far as I'm aware, that you can choose like different sizes and different materials. But yeah, it is just that there are plenty of alternates out there. Michael Rambach could you perhaps also make a video about the Mares Flexor 5.4 or comment your opinion on this wetsuit? Yeah, I like the Flexor. It's probably been a generation or two since I played with one, but yeah, Flexor lives up to the name. It's nice and flexible. Let's see what color it is at the moment. It's usually a red color. It depends on the thickness. Oh, now it's blue. Go away, pop-ups. So the 5.4, yeah, has blue trim. I think the last time I saw it had red trim. They, at least for the men's, the women's is like a fuchsia. It's front entry. It's got a little zipper. Oh, sorry. Let me expand on that, because it's got a zipper. It's got a little whistle in the zipper pull, which is cool. You do see this a lot on Mara's equipment. They turn things into whistles. So on a lot of Mara's BCDs, you'll notice the chest strap, the little pinch clip, has a whistle built into it. Yeah, in this case, the wetsuit has a whistle built into the zipper. Front entry, which you don't see a lot of. But it is quite nice. I don't mind a front entry. It depends where the zipper like ends. This one, it like glances off to towards your left shoulder. So as long as that doesn't get in the way of your shoulder strap, which it looks like it won't, yeah, that should be perfectly fine. No zippers on the cuffs, which is double-edged sword. I mentioned this in the in last week's video on the Scuba Pro Everflex, where it's really nice once it's on. If you're trying to put a wetsuit on that doesn't have like zippered cuffs, then especially with a lot of the stretchy material nowadays, it can be really tough to do it by yourself, because the more that you push your arm through, the more that it stretches, and you kind of have to like pull that neoprene material into place, which can be kind of tricky. But yeah, Mara's always quite nice. They a decent brand with their neoprene and everything. It's got nice little touches to it. Yeah, I've never had an issue with Mara's. Sean had a Mara's wetsuit. I think that was a flexor because that had red details on it. I do like Mara's neoprene, so yeah, I'd recommend it. Chris Philhauer, 6029, you bring a good point. Cars now come with a key fob. How do you protect it from damage or theft whilst diving? I've been fortunate to dive places where families are nearby. Yeah, that's always nice to have someone on the surface. Just surface cover, give your keys to surface cover. Yeah, if you're diving, what do you do with your car keys? If you've got an old-fashioned, I say an old-fashioned car, a car with just a metal key, perfect. No electronics or anything, that can just be clipped into a pocket and come down with you, or you can use a like lock box. You can get some that either attach to your alloy wheels or the tow bar on the back of your car. Just kind of lock it somewhere safe, and it's just a combination lock. Or yeah, if it's a metal key, you just bring it down with you. With the electronic ones, it's tricky. You've got two options. Well, you've got three, I suppose. You can either bring it down with you, which has its own issues. You can lock it somewhere secure, which again has some issues, or you can hide it, which again has issues. Bringing it down with you, you can either, if you're diving in a dry suit and you trust it and you don't want to tempt fate too much, you can just have it in a pocket inside your like undersuit, under your dry suit. I've done that before. If you just get like an extra Ziploc bag just to help a little bit with waterproofing, then yeah, you can just keep it inside of your dry suit. Or you can get like key fob containers now. It's like a metal canister that you can pop your key into and then stow it in a pocket. I know some divers, if they have old like big torches, that the seal is still good on them, take the batteries out and fit the key inside. Or like old underwater camera cases, they're quite a nice size as well. Adds a little bit of buoyancy to your setup, but it's quite convenient. So yeah, they're your two kind of options. But with a lot of modern keys, you have like, I think they call it a blade. They don't call it a key. Of course, it has to be a blade, where you have a metal version of the key, so you can separate the electronics and you still have that like physical metal key. That can come down with you, but then what do you do with the key fob? A lot of keys, because they have the like proximity unlocking or keyless start-stop, like my car, you need to have like a Faraday pouch to stop those signals. So even if you bring the metal key down with you on the dive and then leave the like key fob in the glove box or whatever, it's still with the car. So if someone breaks in, they can start it and drive off with it. So so as long as it's in like a Faraday bag, it's more safe. And then you can put that in a like a tow box, lock box, or yeah, you just hide it somewhere. There are certain ones that you can like dig into the ground. If it's in the sand, you dig it down, and you just kind of remember where it was, so you can dig it back up later, or you just hide it somewhere secure. If you're diving somewhere where you need an SMB or a buoy, you can put it in a dry bag and attach it to the buoy. Chances are no one's going to come across it. So yeah, those kind of are your main options, really. Question on the Sunto Ocean Dive computer from Ko Hyung Sang. Can it do side mount? Kind of, yeah. I don't remember a specific side mount mode, but you can definitely connect like multiple transmitters to it, and then just transfer between them. I can't remember if there's a dedicated side mount mode, but yeah, that's quite an easy like update for them to do. Have a look through the manual. If it's not in the manual, then no, it can't. Isa Al Shahan 5166 on the Garmin Mark III. Does it have marine GPS? Yeah. I mean, it's got GPS that works over the oceans. It'll never work under the ocean. The signals don't work under the ocean, or at least underwater yet. The signals don't transfer. I know some places are definitely working on underwater GPS, but yeah, the Mark IIIi, if you're on the surface, it'll tell you where you are and where you've been, but as soon as you go under the water, it switches off. So yes and no. Travel Tommy says, I have a stupid question. When I have the snorkel in my mouth and do the suck test with my nose, should I be able to breathe with my mouth during the suck? Because when I do the test, the mask falls. Yeah, I mean the test shouldn't like take that long that you'd need to take a breath. It's just a quick like put the mask up to your face, sniff through your nose, and see if you can draw any air through the mask, and see to make sure that the mask stays on your face. Yeah, you'll always be able to breathe through your mouth, but there's no real need to do that. It's literally just sniff. Done. Test complete. You should be able to hold your breath for that long, just to make sure that your mask fits properly. So to answer your question, yes, you should be able to breathe through your mouth, but you shouldn't need to. And if you do breathe through your mouth, then your mask will probably fall off. So I wouldn't worry about that. And that's it for another week, because my coughs are getting worse as my throat dries up. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Any comments, questions, queries, corrections, or whatever, pop them down in the comments, as well as any other news stories that you may have. Questions, go over to YouTube and use the hashtag AskMark in any comment section. It doesn't have to be on any particular video, but I'll find it behind the scenes. Yeah, remember to check out our website. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this. Thank you for listening, everybody, and of course, safe diving.